Next, let's check out Lawrence Butch Morris. He calls his style conduction. Unlike Walter Thompson, he wasn't interested in strict, specific gestures. In fact, he says that he uses only around 36 gestures and rarely uses most of them.
I show musicians how to interpret symbolism. What they do with it is up to them.
To me, it seems as if he gives the players a lot of breathing room. He's strict with how to shape the music, but not with controlling it every moment. Butch Morris has a distinct sound in his conductions, similar to how composers write in their own signature styles. He has often said that he's interested in using conducting as a means to instruct music that can't be written down. An interesting factor to this is that he frequently uses unique gestures. One such gesture is called Panorama, where he waves his baton around and groups of players within a specific radius of his baton must play or stop playing as the baton passes them by. The effect sounds very much like Butch Morris's own music. It's not only the idea of the gesture, but also the movements of his arms during this specific gesture that brings to life a kind of music that only belongs to Butch Morris. Before performances, he strictly disciplines every ensemble he's worked with, teaching and training them his philosophies of conduction. For example, when teaching his panorama gesture, he insisted that the players provide total content, not merely quick little noises. He'll heavily rehearse it while instructing the players how to adjust themselves into the improvisation, how to properly follow the conducting, and the possibilities of a performance. Another characteristic of Morris's conducting is how he patiently milks ideas. He's not in a hurry to jump around from one kind of information to the next. He'll stick with one idea and develop it, construct it, mold it to create a piece of art. He demonstrated this with a piece of paper while giving a lecture on his technique.
Do that. With me. Okay, the idea is this. Whether they can literally make this sound or not, in their creative mind, they can go in the direction of that sound, and that's good enough for me.
There are endless possibilities involved with the idea of conducted improvisation. Adam Rudolph uses a score with his conductions. Frank Zappa would sometimes conduct the audience. Matt Butler often conducts rock-based improvisations while writing instructions on a whiteboard. Fred Lundberg-Holm conducts with the help of a lightbox. Some people even dance to conduct what they want the players to interpret into music. Conducting improv can be thought of as a musical sign language that guides players in real time, or as a form of having musicians interpret gestures and actions as a means to guide improvisation. It can be exciting to build up your collection of gestures. An important point to have in mind is to keep your gestures intuitive. Remember that musicians must react to them, usually instantly, while they are improvising. You want your signals to be as clear and as easy to understand as possible. What kind of instructions do you want to implement on improvising musicians? Listen to music that you like and think how you could create gestures to have players produce sounds from that music. Take a look at all the symbols for music notation, all the controls on a sound mixer, or even MIDI commands. These are your musical choices. Which ones are important to you? How can you make conducting gestures out of them? You can also add outside sources. Some things to consider when conducting improv. How much control do you want as a conductor? How much freedom do you want the players to have? How many gestures can the players and the conductor remember? You don't have to get as involved as the conductors mentioned. In fact, it's important to keep it simple at first, then gradually add different gestures and ideas. And finally, you can take conducted improvisation a few steps further and play music games that involve conducting. Check out what's available at Games for Music. The Conductor's Remote game might be a good place to start. Links are in the description. So, what can you do with improvised conducting? All right, so don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that YouTube stuff, and I'll see you next time at Not Right Music.